adding in images, also how you can create a quick signature within the doc using draw, how you can recolor images, apply the text wrapping, size, rotation, update the angle of the image, and a whole lot more. That's all coming up in this lesson about images within Google Docs. So this happens a lot where we get asked to provide our signature within a doc. And there's a number of ways to do that. One of the quickest ways, if you don't have a signature image, is to go under Insert and select Drawing. And from there, you can do a new drawing. And so you can use this drawing in order to create your signature. So under the Select line, there's a scribble. And under the scribble, there you can create your signature. And you can also select it to make it thicker and to customize it, the line weight. So usually I do try to make it thicker because the signature itself is going to be fairly small. Once you've created the signature to use, click the Save and Close. So that's going to generate an image file, and you can use that as a signature. The more you shrink it down, the thinner the line is going to be. You can also at any point do an edit of it, and once again making a selection of it, and you can update the line width as needed. So this was a quick way to add in a signature file, and then whenever you've done, you can just save that, and there's our signature that's added into the doc. So that's a quick and easy way to do a signature. You can also have files within the computer. So if you do have a draw file that you already have within your drive, you can make a selection. So right now I don't have any images, but you can do that, or you can create a signature, keep it within the drawing file, and bring that into the doc. There's also images. So images, as we saw in the previous lesson, you can upload from the computer. You can also search the web. If you upload it from the computer, it's going to go into Drive. You can also go through your drive and selecting out any images that you might have. And if you want to bring those images into your document, you can select the image. And once it's selected, at the bottom, you're going to have a number of images that you've selected, and then you can do an insert of the images. And these images are now going to get inserted wherever the cursor was, wherever the cursor location. And you can work with these images where you could move them in the page. So you can drag and drop them to another location within the page. In addition, you can resize them. You can update the inline, and there's also image options. When you select the image options, that's going to give you options where you can do a size and rotation adjustment, or you can select the all image options. That's going to open up the side menu where you've got even more options that you can do for the images. For the images, this gives you the size, so the current size, inches for width and height, and the scale of that image. So you can resize the scaling. You can also update the dimensions. So if you lock the aspect ratio is going to stay the same. But if you want to distort the aspect ratio, then you can unlock that, and that's going to distort the way that the image is being presented. There's also locking that. So once you do a lock on that, whenever you do any resizing, it's going to keep those new dimensions for the image. There's also a rotation. So you can rotate the image on various angles. You can do a quick 90-degree rotation. There's a text wrapping, so this is the same as we just saw within that short menu that was popping up, where we can do it defined in front of the text, make whatever adjustments we want. I'm going to bring the angle back down to 0 and select it again. So this is the text wrapping options, and selecting all of those. There's also some more options when we're doing a wrap text. So you can do left side, right side, or both sides. So wrapping it on whatever side you want or on both sides. And then also setting the different margins for the images as it's being wrapped within the text in relation to the text that's surrounding it. There's a position option, so we can move with text, or we can have it within a fixed position. So the fixed position for the image is not going to allow it to move, and we can set it on a certain location on the page. So if we had it behind the text, that would then allow us to move that, or we could set it to move with the text. There's also a recolor option. So this gives us some more coloring options. So this is running out of space here on the menu, so I'm going to shut down a few of these ones here that were above. And for the recolor options, so we can apply different color palettes to it. That's just going to colorize the image and apply that new coloring to it. There's also the adjustments where you can take the transparency, the brightness, and the contrast ratios to that. So that will just be updating the image options. Also under the insert, there's images from your drive. So that was the images from the drive. There's also photos, so that's another Google service. There's by the URL, so if you have a URL of the image, you can paste that in. And it also gives you the warning that you need to have confirmed in order to use the license of the image. And then camera will take an image from your system camera, and that will bring that directly into the document. You can also do a replace of the image. So that's available within the short menu here, as well as the image options menu. So that will pop open the image options menu. If you close that, we can replace the image. So we can do a search of the web. So if we want to replace it with a JavaScript logo, we can insert it, and at the bottom, once we make the selection, we're going to have a replace option in the bottom right hand side. And what that's going to do is that's going to replace the image, keeping the same size for the image that was just replaced. And of course, we can also then update using the image properties and apply the variations to it with the recolor, the position, the text wrapping, and the size and the rotation.